beautiful. It is your girl, Rebecca Zahara.
It's your girl, Amy.
Today we are on episode 10 and we're going to be talking about child. Okay, let me just let this giggle out.
So, we're just going to be talking about childhood traumas and interpretations and how we go about how we either have or continue to heal those wounds.
Okay, so this topic came up, this topic came up the other day when we were on the phone. I don't remember what we were talking about, but we were talking about how important it is. I don't remember if I was like talking about meditation, but essentially I think it came down to talking about how important it is to revisit the perspective that you had as a child in your adult life, because a lot of times we'll have a certain perspective as a child that may not be true, but we can't see it that way with our childlike brain because we don't understand. And then if we do not revisit that, then we can be carrying certain things with us into our adulthood that really just are counterproductive or make no sense if we were to revisit how we were thinking then now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, or I think for the ones in the back who are like me and just need less words, essentially how you saw it as a child needs to be revisited as an adult so you can really see it through real eyes and not through as a child. That was my explanation, y'all. I'm about to go into something else just so y'all know, less words. But as a child, there are a lot of things that you don't know that's happening in the background and things, situations, the reason why people do the things that they do. I know that as an adult now, or walking in my 29, my mother was my age when she was like raising me and going through the things that she was going through. And as a child, I didn't necessarily really understand why she's making the decisions that she was making because I didn't know a lot of the background, or I knew it, but I didn't really know how to apply it for real. And now as an adult, I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense as to why she did this and did that. Because we got bills. We got bills. There's money to be made. There's other people's feelings to be thought about, other people's households to be thought about. And so now as an adult, I can see the whole picture. And as a child, you can only see that part of the picture that you participated
in. One of the things I said to you the other day, so the other day we were talking about childhood abuse, and we were talking about how at our first foster home I was getting my ass beat and how my brother and sister weren't. Like, I was just really getting the brunt of the beatings because I didn't know, like, what am I supposed to do? Like, hit this like, hit this woman back, like she's really gonna beat my ass. And so I was saying to S then how as a child I didn't say anything because I was scared that I would still have to be sent home with her, although she was beating my ass. And then I was saying to her how now me as an adult thinking maybe I should have said something, but like I don't really know if that would have been helpful. And what did you say?
I said it wouldn't have been helpful because I did. So she couldn't beat me like she beat you. Because at that point, I was already over it. I was over all the shits. I already had a whole chip on my shoulder. I specifically was mad at everybody for removing me from my mother. And I was very, very wrong for me. So, when nobody about to be beaten on me, I'm going to be 100% honest. You couldn't if you tried, which you tried. You couldn't. I told. I told. We were still living there. She still tried to hit on me, and I had to act a whole damn fool. Nothing changed. Daniel, my brother, also told, and it ended up fucking him up in the end because he ended up being moved to a group home. He also has some other stuff going on in that. A big part of that, though, was because he told. So she was right.
And so, this isn't necessarily to say that when you revisit certain shit that it will not be true.
Or that it'll change. It's just to reacclimate
Like,
yourself with something that you went through and to help the wound not hurt so much. The next time you may touch upon it, it shouldn't bruise as much as it bruised this time, maybe. So I know that as a child, uh, I remember thinking to myself because people would say to me that you're like the darkest one. I was the darkest one out of all mommy kids. That and I was lucky I was pretty. Like, yeah, and I remember being like, and then it was like, so the grown-ups were saying that, and the kids were telling me that I was ugly. So I remember like coming home to mommy crying about it. So this is me. I'm about to give you different situations of the same situation, but at different time periods of my life. Me in elementary school, when I just got back from Haiti, I couldn't speak any English. There's a universal language for bullying. I don't have to speak your language to see that you're trying to hurt me. I don't. I don't. You don't even have to try to physically hurt me for me to see that you're trying to hurt me. It's universal danger, and also if it's not universal, my flight and fight survival modes have been on for life. Okay, because I can feel you looking at me, talking about me, sending wicked vibes my way. So, elementary school, I just got back. I was 8 years old, about 8 or 9. And this girl learned how to say ugly and Creole so I could understand her. Like, no, for real. Like, I remember she asked one of the other kids or whatever. I heard him tell her or whatever. And then she, like, came to me later on that day and was like, ooh, lead. And I was like, this bitch. My feelings was so hurt. I went home, told my mama. She was like, oh, don't pay them bitches no mind. I remember my mama really cursed too. Don't pay them bitches no mind. They're just upset because you are, I think she said like you're taken care of or something like that or whatever. And I remember being like, bitch, don't nobody care. I'm taking care of. They are calling me ugly. These ugly. Now, next scenario. I am in high school. I'm in that awkward phase. Of course, I'm in that awkward phase. I'm a little chubby. Uh these cheeks, baby. These cheeks have always been these cheeks. I be wondering what I'm gonna look like when I'm old because baby, you know how old people get shrunken faces? Won't be me. But I was in my weird awkward phases. I had all the colors in my hair. And this girl was like, you'd be prettier if you weren't so dark. Like that was her thing. And I was like, so this is the tomboy phase of my life. So I wasn't even really, I don't even know if I was really even considering myself in that aspect of pretty and ugly and stuff like that. I was just trying to be a boy. I don't even know. I was trying to play with the boys, run around with the boys. I was a boy stir crazy, like love crazy. I just was like, "Ooh, what y'all doing? What y'all doing? I want to do it too. Yeah, smoking. I want to smoke. I want to play football. I want to do it. I just wanted to be around the boys." So we got into a fight. I punched her in the face. At that time of my life, I didn't really know how to express myself, so I punched her in the face. Now, we are now 29 and looking back because today couldn't nobody even feel like that's something they could say to me. But at that time, I was in a sea of wolves. Children are wolves. Wolves. Children are piranhas. And people be acting like because they're the youth and they're so young and blah blah blah. But bullying does. It affects you to a core. It really does. Because I am 29 years old now and I just know could nobody come to me and say that. But I remember and my feelings are not any less hurt. My feelings are not any less. I'm trying to think to you and tell you that they are, but I still go through that with myself. I still have to go in the mirror sometimes and be like, "You're beautiful. You're beautiful. Whatever you're seeing right now is not for real. You're beautiful." I do that regularly. I still have to go and remind myself that I am worth loving. I've been getting darker over the summer. I literally, throughout those phases, have to tell myself that I'm beautiful because now I'm in this place of where when I was this color and whatever, 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 you guys, when I don't relate my darkness to great things because you guys like traumatized me in a way. And now my childhood interpretation um, has warped maybe some of my adult perception.
Shout out to sis wearing the yellow. Okay. Period. Period. Um, but okay. For me, okay. So for me, reaffirming yourself by looking yourself in the mirror is one of my favorite ways. Um, and I love that because, especially because aside from childhood bullying, we are literally in a society that is telling us to be the complete opposite of exactly what we are, or like to be that, but like not so black. Um,
And
for
it's hard for me to not be so black, y'all. It's hard for me to not be so black because I wake up so black. In the morning when I wake up, this is me. When I go to sleep, this is me. So for you to tell me not to be me feels weird because I can't bleach my skin. I got too many tattoos. I done fucked that up. If that was something that I was even thinking about doing, by the way, I fucked it up. Too many tattoos. Your girl has now. I can't even imagine myself lighter skin. Like, so should I not be should I not be here? You make it feel as if I shouldn't be here at all. As if my creation was a mistake. Because I can't do anything about this. I can't change it. Even if I wanted to, which I don't. But shit, what I look like lightened? What I look like lightened, y'all?
I remember dodging the sun.
Oh my God, y'all. Oh my God. Because you said that. Oh my God. Okay. Up until up until I got to Texas on some real shit. I have now been in Texas for 3 years. I'm 29. I got here when I was 25, about to turn 26. Up until my black ass got to Texas, I phased I set up like a a schedule for how much sun I can get throughout the summer so that at least I so so what I would do is
It's the schedule for me.
what I would do is you know that coming like April, May in New York, the sun starts to come out, the spring showers and stuff like that or whatever. On days where like the sun was like really out or really coming out or whatever, I would wear like a hat. I would like wear my hair down to like, and I always like to wear my hair long so it could like cover up my skin. I'd wear a hoodie, sweatpants. Like I'd wear more clothes to be able to cover my skin. Um, in like April, May, and then come around June, right? So come around June, I would start to like wear my legs out in like kind of like I want to say like knee length skirts. Or like shorts, kind of capris kind of situations. I'd always have long sleeve shirts on. I'd wear like a hat to like kind of essentially I'm just shading all of this out.
She was sweating. She was sweating. Okay.
July, August, there's not much I can do to avoid it, but I'm still wearing my long sleeve shirts. Um, and then if I don't wear a long sleeve shirt, also, y'all, I am finding the shade. I'm not going nowhere if there's no fucking shade. If there's no trees around, because I'm finding the shade. I swear to you, I used to say all the time. This used to be my saying. The sun is searching for me. The sun is searching for me, so I can't be out here because the sun be coming for my black ass. Like so, July and August, I will be like in shade and fuck a pool. Fuck a pool. I'm only doing indoor pools. I didn't do anything outside of an indoor pool. I'm not I'm not getting this black. Oh my god, I'm not getting this black. And then by the end of August would be when I was at my darkest shade. And being honest, I learned in Texas that what was considered my darkest shade in New York is my regular shade in Texas because I get darker. And I remember the first summer that I realized how dark I was, and that I couldn't avoid it. I live in Texas, goddamn, so you can't avoid the fucking sun. Like and to put on extra clothes to do what I was doing in New York, it worked in New York because it's always some kind of cool breeze that come around and stuff. It don't work in Texas. You are about to die. You're killing yourself. You're killing yourself. So the first really it was my birthday or right around my birthday that first summer that I realized how dark I was here, and I like kind of cried about it because it was my birthday and I just always knew I was supposed to be this kind of dark for my pictures and stuff. Like this kind of dark was the presentable kind of dark. And then like later on I just would stop taking pictures. I would stop showing myself because I don't want to get dark. Like that not presentable dark. And then to be what you consider the not presentable dark year round was like, are you not presentable now? Like, are you? I remember feeling less wanted, and nobody did it to me, y'all. Nobody did it to me. So I got to Texas. The guys wanted me. The guys was looking at me. I wasn't at my full, and they was still like, who is that? and I was doing it. I was like, damn, you are dark. Like me telling myself this. Nobody told me this anymore. Nobody was telling me this. But something that I really took as a child, like I really and never even realized how much I was holding that down until that year. Like I never even really realized how much I was holding things that happened to me as a kid into what I considered was my adulthood. What I consider is my adulthood. I can't even tell you that today I'd be like, I just know that now, bitch, it is what it is. It is what it
It's
is.
so important to revisit our childhood because we'll just keep playing back the same programs,
Mm-hmm.
and it could be,
Never
regardless if you're
evolving.
going to acknowledge it or not, the programs are playing. And it's important to address the root of why you're saying certain things and doing certain things. One of the biggest things for me, outside of, because now I blacking me up, like like now I lay in the sun, soak it. I love it, but my skin a little sensitive, so I wear my SPF. But for me, one of the biggest things that I've had to overcome, that I was, and I don't even know that it was intentional, but it was my hair. I don't be characterizing my hair. You know how they do the C's and all this. She's coarse, she is lovely, she is beautiful, she is delicate. But I was told she was nappy as hell. I need to get the kitchens, and um especially for, oh my god, I've had such horrible experiences with my hair. um I got my first perm um without my mom's authorization from my godmother as a child. So there was that, now my scalp already fucked up. So I got that. My mom blacked on her. That's why I would never.
That's crazy because she permed my hair.
So after that, mommy wasn't doing all that. I used to like when mommy used to do our hair and put our little bobos. I personally liked it. You might not have liked it. I like that.
You know why you liked it? But y'all, she liked it because my mama would do our hair and do our hair the exact same way. And Rebecca would be like, twinning! Yes! We got the literally my mama would do, oh my god, I was like, you have no creativity. Like, as an adult, I still hate that. I don't copy me. Rebecca
Um,
used to be like, because my mama would do my hair first, and then Rebecca would come sit her little perky ass down. Like, yep, I want that. I want what she got. And here go my mama because Rebecca's ass is kikiing while she doing her hair and shit. So now my mama done did the same purple motherfucking ribbon here, the same yellow ribbon here, and the same white ribbon here. They don't even match. Oh my! I used to be so upset.
so anyway, I used to love getting my hair done, and then the hot comb. Well, not even the hot comb. Before the hot comb, so at our first foster home, I dreaded getting my hair done. It was the worst experience of my life. Oh God.
I had to do
He
my own
tried
hair.
to remove my scalp. It felt like a procedure. It was horrible, horrible. Like, I didn't deserve that. She used to I don't know what she was going through to keep it a buck. Like, that is not my business.
Becky,
However, she was like combing my hair as if, one, I had that much. Two, like as if it was literally the hardest thing to deal with in life. And my scalp used to hurt so bad. I used to be like in tears getting my hair done. And then I used to, from there, like to try to avoid her doing my hair, I used to have Esther braid my hair. And I
that's how
felt
I
cute,
learned.
as stuff when Esther did my hair, but my scalp was still hurt. Not
I
as
was learning. I was learning. Remember, I learned how to braid on your head.
She was braiding with her knuckles, but I was cute. But I was cute. Then,
Let me laugh.
then
I think also because the person who was hurting you was someone you loved and you didn't really love Miss Lovey. So it was different.
what really like those had me like, oh my gosh, my hair's too hard to deal with. Like I'm too hard to deal with. And then I'm already too hard to deal with because we're in the system. We're too hard to deal with. And then what then at my next foster home, I got introduced to the hot comb. And yeah, I'm not gonna hold you. I thought I was cute as fuck. Okay.
But your scalp had severe burns and
But
shit
my
going
it's the ears for me.
on. They'd be like, hold it. They'd be like, hold it. And you be holding your ear to the root, like, hold on.
You're sweating. You don't know if it's fucking grease or it's sweat that's burning
You
out. They
hear,
just say, oh, it's the
shh.
steam.
You know that sound wave when they get real closer to that steam hits.
It was ghetto. And to make it worse, I was getting my hair pressed all year round. Y'all know, look, our hair is not made to be straight all year round. The only time it's cool to have straight hair is in the fall because it's not humid.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
Because it's not humid. And so my little ass I'll just get my hair done, you know what I'm saying? And I was always taught that don't leave your house with your hair not done. Like,
Not
if
for
I was
real.
taught anything, I was taught do not leave your house with your hair not done. Don't look like nobody love you. What else? Don't look
I
like
was
you don't
taught
belong to
that
nobody.
as long as your hair is done, everything else can be worked out. As long as your hair is done, everything else can be worked. Y'all, I was the tomboy of the tomboys with my hair done. My weave slayed. But my brother's hoodie on, I don't know whose sweatpants these are, but they about both sizes too big. The chancletas, the ones you went and got the beauty supply store. What? But this weave though, for the gods. You hear me? For the gods.
On top of sitting there and going through all of that, when I would step outside and the humidity hit, I would step back inside, looking like I never got my hair done. Like literally. And she would literally look at me like, and I'm like, yo, now you told me not to step outside with my hair done. I stepped outside with my hair done. Now my hair looks undone, but you want me to look kept. But outside don't want me to be kept. Don't want me to look kept. I remember getting tired of that shit. I remember getting tired of the heat damage. I remember getting tired of I was just tired. Like, and then I remember I started like we chill with the hot combs. And then that's probably around when I started braiding my own hair. Cause I was experimenting, you know what I'm saying? And I started braiding my own hair. Then I thought I was super cute. You know what I'm saying? You used to braid the front with the little rubber bands and the back was out.
Oh,
With the
baby.
different color rubber bands.
When I learned the flat twist, you remember the flat twist? Ooh, when your girl learned the flat twist, she used to. Y'all, let me tell you something. People used to think that my shit was real. Let me tell you something. I used to do my little flat twist or whatever, like up in my hair, and then put the little rubber bands in there, and then take the Black Pro style gel, and then you put it all in a ponytail or whatever. Put it together. Make sure put a little water in there. Make sure it is set for the gods. Then I would go take the Toikaloin here, the little Cankaloin that you get from the beauty supply store. I would get that, leave the rubber band on that hoe, put that real rubber band around my ponytail, and then take that whole thing and wrap it in a bun. Ooh, okay, yeah, gotcha. And wrap it all in a bun. And then I would have this bun on the top of my head that was about this big. But this how you know, kids don't know no better. Everybody was like, "Oh, did you hear? How did you get your bun to grow so long?" I was doing other bitches' hair. I was like, "Go get a bag. Oh, hey, come to my house and I'll do your hair in the backyard." Or I'll come to the park and I'll do your hair. And then, no, for real, we would all be walking around. I would do a flat twist like this way on this one, flat twist like that way on that one. And then y'all, do you remember when that middle part was there? When people used to do the middle, just the middle part and braid just the middle? Woo! Baby, I seen some of my pictures.
For me and my hair, what has been the biggest I've learned to love my hair the most. And this has all been a process of learning to just love how my hair grows out of my scalp naturally. But I've learned to love my hair the most when you remember when I thought I was cute and not the first time I cut my hair. That last time I cut my hair and they fucked up and I looked like someone's son. So y'all, I went there for a tapered cut, long in the front, and my hair was long, like it was like nice length, so they could have done the style correctly. So I want to be very clear. All right. So I'm in the barber seat, and the first time I got my hair cut, I got my hair cut at a barbershop. So I'm like, let me just go to the barbershop. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a black barbershop. I'm holding up the pick. He got me holding up the pick the whole time. He's like, oh yeah, like that. I'm like, yeah, don't forget. Factor in the shrinkage. The shrinkage is real. Okay. He'll be like, okay. So I'm holding this the whole time. I left there not looking like the picture. Yes, looking like someone's son. And I went home, looked at myself, and said, "What the fuck are we gonna do with this?"
Put it in
Not
some
being
braids.
able, child. My hair wasn't long enough to put in a braid. Not one. It wasn't long enough to put in a braid. It wasn't long enough to try to slick back. It was just like. So learning to look at myself and be like, "You cute." I was like.
Learning to lie. Learning to lie. Because you knew damn well that shit was not it.
But that's not true. It richly grew on me. I just had to get used to myself in that state. And now I'm ready to go bald. And so it was really a process of me like really learning to love myself in each of those stages as my hair grew, like when I cut it back off. And then we gonna see how I feel when I go bald headed, y'all, because I'm probably gonna come up on here and be like, y'all, I did a thing.
I mean, I feel like you did more work on that aspect than I did because um first off, I learned to love myself the most when I cut my hair. When I just cut it all off and like went with like the dark season, that was like a turning point for me in my life because hair for me has always been like my protective blanket. Like I can always just cover my face with it, and it's not like I walk around with it. So I don't need to, do anything. And whenever I'm in an uncomfortable situation, I will just do this, and just this alone would push my hair forward and hide my face. When I cut my hair was when I learned that I was, oh girl, you is sexy. Because being honest, and this shouldn't have made me like, but it did, and to this day I still be like, because I was pulling some of the baddest men that I've ever talked to in my life bald headed. And prior to that, I really related my hair to my beauty. So yeah, not having any and walking around with little studs in your ear, because I don't like earrings. I was never a hoopy girl. I don't like shit that way down, and I most of the time don't even wear jewelry. What you see here is what you get from me majority of the time. I felt a little cute this morning, so I did put on the necklace and the bracelet, but overall, no. So not having no hair made me be like, wow, you, like, you are it, not like your hair is it. After that, when my hair really started growing in and everything, being honest, y'all, I've been wearing braids for the last 10 years. I have done a wig once or twice. Um, I also did a weave a couple of times. But I see my hair about once every 6 weeks or so. And at that point, I'm just doing a length check because it's so much of it. It's so thick. I don't have the patience for it. Um, to the point where now I think I've really just started getting into the my own hair thing. So I've started dreads, or so I've started locks in my hair. Um, as you can see, you don't see them. So I didn't go too far from what I know because I got my extensions back in, and I'll probably be taking them out to put in my yarn braids because my hair is a lot, and I don't have the patience to go through the self-love journey that Rebecca went through with her hair. So until my dreads lock up,
I think,
I shall be here.
I mean, all of our journeys are not the same, right? And so just because my journey, like, and I'm sure, like, even every time I change my hair, it's like a to me, like I have to get used to this person. I really have to get used to this person that I'm seeing, especially even when I put these in my hair, and these are just a protective style, but my hair is colored now, and so me just seeing my hair myself with like dark hair, I was like,
is that me? Oh my god. Mom. Back up. That's me? Yeah. No, that's not. Well. Over there. No, that's not you. That is me. I swear to God, that's me.
but I mean, I think all of those reasons are why it's important to look at how and why we look at certain things we do now. Because if we don't unpack that shit, then we're literally just blindly following programs that were instilled in us, and they may not be true. And this goes for every aspect of your life. This goes for how you see relationships, any kind of relationships. This goes for how you form your own values. What do you value? Are they things that you value, or are they things that other people have told you that you should value? Like,
I used to refer to things that were my physical as unpresentable. And I had to realize that my physical could never be unpresentable. The only thing that is unpresentable is my behavior. It is not my physical. This This is it, baby girl. So you need to learn how to love it, however it comes. However God gave it to you, your mama gave it to you, your daddy. Maybe you got your daddy's nose and you wanted your mama nose. I don't know. But you gotta love it because somebody really thought to themselves that this right there, what they created right there, was perfect. What you need to do is remember that the physical could never be unpresentable because it was made, it was created to be exactly what it is. What is unpresentable is the behavior that you are exhibiting towards yourself. What is unpresentable is the fact that you're sitting here talking to yourself like you ain't shit. What is unpresentable is the fact that you really, really thought that you was about to sit next to me and talk shit about yourself.
And it's so important that it's so important to listen to the voices that are speaking, because sometimes we all have that negative voice in our head, like shit talk all day long. However, sometimes it's not even us, right? Sometimes it's things that we've heard that it's not even our voice. Sometimes it could be our parents. Sometimes it could be the people that we thought were supposed to nurture and love us, and maybe they don't know, they didn't know what love looks like, and so they couldn't show up as that for you, and so they've instilled certain programs in you that are to your detriment, unbeknownst. And so it's important for me. I was talking about this yesterday with Kiara on live when we were talking about balancing self-care and relationships. I was saying one thing I've realized during quarantine was, and I'll be quick to be like, pay attention, don't say stuff like that. And I'm really quick to change up how I speak to myself. However, certain times I feel like, because especially when it comes to like me relaxing, I'll be like, oh, I could be doing this, I need to do this, there's always all these things that I need to do. And I found myself, like, even with how I was setting my alarms, like the way that I thought I was motivating myself to get up to do certain work that I needed to do was a complete contradiction to what I was trying to affirm myself to do. So, like, get your ass up as my alarm, as opposed to wake up, baby girl, it's time to do your work. You know what I'm saying? And just being intentional with that, because I'll be like, come on, we got to do this. But the way in which I can motivate myself can be forceful. And it's like, where's that coming from? And so paying attention to how you're talking to yourself in these moments and trying to like find the root instead of finding ways that are more helpful to your highest self to help you get the same thing accomplished.
So I am my worst critic. I just I think so highly of myself. So I honestly feel like there's not anything that's been presented to me in my life that I couldn't like overcome outside of death, because I guess you have to die. But overall though, I am my worst critic because I feel like I've gone through so much and taking them hoes with stride. So I tell myself, even in times where I really should be able to just love on me, I tell myself, bitch, put your big girl drawers on and get it fucking together. And I be talking to myself like that. And I had to realize, first off, don't talk to me like that. First off, like, to myself, don't talk to me like that, because that shit would not be acceptable from anybody else. Nobody could ever talk to me like that. So why am I in my own head telling myself, bitch? No. I had to start checking myself. That is a thing. That is a thing that you do, that you need to do, that you need to work on. And just real quick, that shit, that was flick that hoe off, because it's not helping you in the long run. I had to literally tell myself, and it's still a thing. I still do it because bitch is one of my favorite words. How about bitch this, bitch that? You have to bloop these. Excuse me, sorry. But yeah, no, it's one of my favorite words. I had to learn that um even though I like the way it rolls off my tongue, that's not for me. That's not for my loved ones. That's not for um people that I love. It's not a loving word. And people have to check me the same way that I have to check myself. People have to check me. If you don't want to be called that, you check me. I will not, I swear to you, I won't take it like, oh, this man. I won't. I won't. Because I already know, I've already made the acknowledgement that this is not loving. This doesn't show love. This doesn't show the warmth that you are. And for me in my life, I just want to project what I am. And I'm a nurturer. No matter what's going on with my relationship with my son, my relationship with my family members, my relationship with my friends, at the end of the day, at the core, I am a nurturer. So I want to portray that energy. That's something that I pride myself in. I pride myself in the fact that you can come to me and know that I got you.
I love that you mentioned being accepting of people checking your ass, because that is an important part of the process, right? When people see things in you and they say that they see things in you, oftentimes our reaction is to get so defensive. But like,
while I might still get defensive in the moment. Let me react.
Right, but it's important that, especially if we're hearing, you know when it's true because you're triggered. Your triggers are signals of where you need healing, and so pay attention when you are triggered, because those are just areas that can use some improvement, and that's okay. Like, none of us are perfect, and maybe and sometimes it may not even be an area that necessarily needs improvement, but it's something that you need to pay attention to, how you're being triggered, like who is triggering you. If you are also always in a situation in which this one person or this one situation or this whatever is triggering you in a certain way, sometimes we also just need to remove ourselves from certain environments. So paying attention to that as well. There was something else I wanted to say. Oh, about the self-talk. One of the things that I had to tell myself to stop telling myself in order for me to be able to be more vulnerable with myself was, bitch, you better not cry. Heavy on the you better not cry. Heavy on the you better not cry in front of these people. You better hold it. You better hold it. You better hold it. Heavy, 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 heavy. That unlearning has been a lot of work. That unlearning has been a lot of work, because the initial reaction is, which I've had to unteach myself, is they're going to think that you're weak, or you are going to receive some sort of pity, which is what I do not want. But that is not true. Being vulnerable does not make you weak. Releasing does not make you weak. None of these things make you weak.
Also,
they make
being weak is not a bad thing. And, I am a crybaby. I've always been a crybaby. I've always cried. I've always cried. I've always cried. Oh my goodness. You name it, I think I have cried about it. Like, I am pretty sure. You name it, I think I've cried about it. And I know that so I was the complete opposite of you. Because I remember always thinking to myself, Rebecca is so strong. Like, just nothing. She's just unmovable. I remember even up to not too long ago thinking to myself how unmovable you are and how of the siblings, how you are the strongest one. Like, I've always thought that to myself. Rebecca's the strongest one because shit. We be going through stuff and like outwardly, my brother's losing his shit. I know the turmoil that is going on in here. My youngest sister is like now seeing the spell.
Roberta's about to cast a spell. I'm
at Rebecca. Just calm waters. Just calm waters. And I used to be like, damn. And I used to really compare my rocky shores, man, to Rebecca's calm waters. And I had to really come to like a come to Jesus moment. I don't really want to say come to Jesus moment, but a come to Esther moment, and be like, this does not make you weak. This does not make you weak. You are actually so strong for being able to feel what you are feeling. You are actually so damn strong because there are so many people who don't want to feel this. There are so many people, and not that I want to feel it, but there are so many people who cannot go through this and successfully go through it. And right now, yes, you are crying. Yes, you are. You look crazy. Yes, you do. But give it a little bit, and you're working through it. You will work through it. You will walk through it. I had to realize that because for the longest amount of time, I felt weak because I cried. So I showed strength physically because while I'm crying, I'm about to whoop your ass because that's supposed to show how strong I am. But it didn't really because me actually whooping your ass showed how weak I was. Me actually putting my hands on you really showed how weak I was. It really showed just how lost and confused that I felt like my hurt had to be displayed through hurting someone else maliciously. Call a spade a spade. I used to really think to myself how weak I was, and so while I thought to myself I was weak because I was crying, I was doing weak things because I was telling myself a false narrative. And it took growing up and realizing that, oh no, actually, and talking to other women and other people and stuff, and realizing, oh, 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 you don't check in with your emotions? Oh, so what do you do? So what do you do when your feelings are hurt? Oh, you just shove it down and move forward. Oh, does that hurt? Like,
reality is all that does, like, if we really want to talk about it, all that does is cause disease. I think it's funny how you saw me as like being strong, and I did not feel safe enough to feel vulnerable.
That's so crazy.
I did not feel safe in the way in which, like, like watching you just be able to cry. I'm like, child, these motherfuckers, if they see me cry, then that this only indicates another way in which that they can hurt me. If they see me cry, they are aware that they are hurting me.
Yeah. And you remember how I was like, if it's okay if they see me cry right now, because there's really nothing I can do about this. Like, my body is not going to let me stop. I can't push it in. So what I'm going to do while I cry is fuck up the whole house. So while I cry, then you're going to see just how strong I am, because I lifted this whole couch by myself and I shoved it at your ass by myself. So tell me I am not strong. So I was seeing strength as a physical thing because physically I was looking at other people and what they showed as strength and what I perceived as strength. And they were unmovable. So because I was a crybaby, I needed to make myself unmovable as well with raging water. So instead, what it did was make people just not want to come around me because they weren't sure exactly what they were going to get today. And for a while, I mean, that was pretty cool with me because I think that's kind of what I was doing. I just needed to be left alone. Um, I remember the day that I decided that like I was like sad. Like the day that I like was like, okay, I think you're sad. Like, and I wasn't, I was still angry, of course, but the anger, it just cleared up a little bit. It just literally, I don't know, like maybe it just cleared up a little bit, and I got a glimpse of something else, like right behind it, and I was like, and then I couldn't, like, once you see something, you see it. You want to forget it. You want to be like, but I saw it. I saw it, and I was just like, that like shifted things for me. Well, like, okay, huh? Because prior to that, I was just upset. I was just upset prior to that, or at least that's what I felt. So whenever people, I'm just mad, and then I realized, no, I'm also very sad, and I might actually be really sad and not mad, and just finding that this is how I'm protecting myself. This is how because as a child around all these adults, they didn't listen. I remember like thinking that to myself and like knowing that when I raised my son that I was gonna listen. They didn't listen, and things were happening and people were doing bad things, and no one listened. And so if you're not going to hear what I'm telling you, then you're going to watch me burn the house down, essentially. Because as a child, I don't know how else to. Rebecca said this earlier. She was getting whooped. She felt like she needed help, but she felt like there was no place to call out for help. And whereas for her, you took it and you held that down. I screamed from the rooftops. I screamed from the fucking rooftops. Fucking help me. And I didn't say help me, but everything I did called for you to pay attention to me. Help me. So the way that I interpreted as a child was, it's like what Andrew does, what my son does, that get back thing. And for me, it wasn't really like a get back. It was a get them first. For my son, you kind of have to do something to him, or he has to perceive it as being done. Then he'll revenge. I was run to that shit first. Get to it first. Burn the house down first, because if they burn it down, you're gonna hurt you. But if you burn it down, you can't hurt yourself.
For me, holding in that anger manifested to me being a child that held grudges. I remember, oh my God, child, back in the day, oh child, I give all the grace and honor to my Ori for growth, because baby, back in the day, first of all, I was gonna hit you, okay? One, I was gonna hit you, but before you even got me to hit you, the way in which I would articulate myself to make you feel like such trash, it was just so horrible. It was so horrible. It was so horrible, and it was really just me inflicting pain that I felt internally upon other people to let them know not to try me, right? So I'm going to inflict the pain now so you don't cross again. But like,
I wasn't a grudge holder. I held one grudge my whole entire life, and I wouldn't have held it if that bitch didn't cut my hair. We just gonna be honest.
I remember the day. I don't remember. I was like, I don't know if this was like high school, but I remember I was just like, I just felt heavy. I was just like, you gotta let this go, baby, because this luggage can't go to this next season. Okay?
It can't go into tomorrow. God damn.
Yeah.
You'd be like,
and it was literally just such a release for me not to like, for me to be like, you know what? Just like fuck it. Like all the shit you holding on to, it really doesn't matter. Like it really already happened. And like the fact that you're still mad, check yourself. Like why you still mad? You still mad?
I never had to have that conversation with myself. Yeah. I forget to. I don't hold a grudge. So, cause like I forget. Rebecca, I'd be like, okay, you made me mad now, right? Okay, you fucked up. Okay. Now, if I don't see you for 3 days, I forgot that I was mad at you. Really, an hour after that, it dissipated. You had to have hurt me. You've had to have like touched me. Then we'll have a beef, right? But then after this fight, you like out my mind, bro. Like I no longer think about you. Like I've moved on.
And this is completely wrong, by the way. Just a prerequisite. For me, holding grudges was I need to be sure of whom I can trust. And so if I remember that you hurt me, I won't allow you to hurt me again.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you on that one.
But then the reality is that is not true. Like the reality is that was a false sense of security in which I had. For example, right? If I'm let's say I'm holding on to every person that hurts me, I would have nobody, because in order to be in authentic relationship, you need to be vulnerable, and to be vulnerable is to be in a place in which you could potentially get hurt. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was a false sense of security, which I thought to myself was protecting me, but it really wasn't. It was really, I think, stifling
your relationship,
relationships, but I think my throat chakra and how I was communicating or not communicating at all. Because if you cross me, then cool, I'm good on you. And the way I can disassociate and cut you off, my cut-off game be strong, and that's not something that I'm proud of. And so, but that's something that I've worked on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I think that's why I don't hold the grudges, because you see how your my cutoff game is so strong that once you're cut off, who? I be like, who? I literally forget you. I literally forget you. I'd be like, my brain be like, okay. Bad association, negative association, delete.
You know how in the cartoons, their vision change when the robots, the visions change, and there's be like delete.
Yeah. Delete. I literally, my brain be like, pause, rewind, delete all that. Delete all that. And then that's backfired on me, because people have hurt me. I've detached, forgot, because I didn't really go through it like I needed to go through it and process it like I needed to. So then I kind of forgot that you hurt me, and then like I ran into you a year later or some shit like that. And now here I am feeling the vibes again. Remember, like in the beginning, you're like, oh. Yeah. And then you go ahead and you do the same damn thing because I did it. It's my fault. It's my fault. It's really my fault, because I should have known better. I really should have unpacked that shit the last goddamn time you did that shit to me and really worked it out. But I didn't. I really just was like, fuck that hoe. Literally. detached, rewinded it, deleted all that shit I rewinded. Now, it's a year later, the vibes, because it's not like you were a bad person or something like that. So the vibes were there. I was like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And then here I am, thinking to myself, as you do it to me, why does this feel so familiar? Because she did it to you last year, but your dumbass didn't do the work. You see, I shouldn't tell myself I'm dumb, right? This is where you have to do the work. These are the things where you do the work. These are the things where you be like, oh, pay attention. You got to be more careful.
And that's why we were talking about this a little bit earlier when we were recapping some of the conversation we had yesterday. But that's why in those moments when you are unlearning things that you have been doing and that have become habits, when you're trying to unlearn and undo these things, that's why it's important to give yourself grace.
Yeah.
And to be patient with yourself in those moments and to be loving to yourself in those moments. One thing I wanted to say, I wanted to say earlier, but then I lost my train of thought. When you were talking about how you saw my strength in our relationship, I think that dynamic has been like very consistent across the board with many of my relationships. Like a lot of my friendships, like this is the strong friend, and the this and the that. And for the strong friends, it is important that you unpack your shit and that you sit in it. Like, I think for a long time, I thought like, oh yeah, we're doing some of the work. Like, yeah, oh, we're doing the work. Like, it sounds cute, it looks good, but you really not sitting with it. And I think for me, because I have talked about me being in foster care, I talked about my mom dying. It's so easy to talk about it like on a surface level, and like you see me and my sister, we key, and we ha ha, and like it is all genuine, like to keep it a buck. But at the same time, like we also cry in these places. We're also vulnerable with each other in these places, and it is imperative for you to be comfortable, to be vulnerable with yourself first and foremost, because if you can't be vulnerable with yourself, baby, it's going to stifle your other relationships because you will not have the ability to be vulnerable with other people.
Also, a big one, do not allow anyone else to tell you how you should be going through your shit. One thing that I find is that other people always have a perception of how you should deal with it. Everybody always got some kind of opinion on how you should handle your shit. No, unless you're out here doing drugs, sex, and rock and roll, because then you might need some help. That shit is not productive. Handle your shit. Sex is productive unless you're having sex with a lot of people unprotected. Fuck unprotected unless you're having sex with a lot of people, period. Because at the end of the day, all their spirits are inside of you, and that's just too much. Sex with too many people fucks up your aura in itself. And then you have to work through all that energy before you can even get to the core of whatever the issue was in the first place. So I don't recommend. To each his own. With that being said, though, when my mom died, me, Rebecca, and Roberta used to like laugh. We weren't laughing that she died, but we were like, our energy together just felt great, and we just found a way to like look past it. And people would look at us like, what the fuck are y'all laughing at? Because we'd be like, like somebody would say something like, oh, your mama or something like that. And we'd be like, oh, she's dead.
And I'm laughing, but that was so fucked up of us. And honestly, we were really doing that because you shouldn't be saying that shit anyway.
Like, and we would say that shit with like a straight face. She's dead. And then we would break out laughing. And people would look at us like we were fucking crazy. What the fuck? Being able to laugh in that moment about something that was, oh my God, so fucked up. Because it felt so fucked up. It felt so fucked up. Outside of losing a mother, we were children losing a mother. I felt so abandoned. Oh my goodness. I cannot tell you how much I was just so saddened by like her leaving me. Because I remember thinking that to myself over her dying. She left me here by myself. How could you do that? How could you do that to me? Being able to just laugh about that in that moment, though, helped me not fall into a depression where I didn't see the sunlight and I didn't see anything outside of it. So while to the outside world, it seemed like I was kind of going crazy. That crazy that they saw helped me purge. It helped me move on. It Why would you be mad at my joy when you know that life is full of so much sadness? That is what I remember thinking. Me and Rebecca used to be giggling and laughing and stuff about, I don't know what our little personal jokes were. And people around us would be like, why are they laughing so much? And get like so upset. They would get so upset.
I want to be clear because like us just talking about this in past tense. But like this is present day, like when I'm with my sister, or even when I'm with a Brandy, because Brandy brings out like what you guys bring out in me, and we just be kicking, giggling everywhere. Literally, it could be about nothing. We just
love the energy. It's your energy. The side eye you just gave, just the whole, ooh, girl, just the whole, I'm just so happy to be in your presence.
But people be mad and they be like, what's so fun? Baby girl, it's okay. Get some joy in your heart. Okay.
So for real, get some joy in your heart. And if you don't have none, I'm gonna need you to find what makes you happy or something. I don't know. Tell a joke. Because at the end of the day, I'd rather have laugh lines than frown lines. Them frown lines be dragging your skin. But them smile lines be lifting it up. Smile lines, smile up. Smile. God damn. Why are you so mad? Why is joy such? I think a lot of people don't want to be happy. I think a lot of people sitting there suffering so long, they've gotten all their attention from suffering and from being unhappy, and they just don't know how to be anything else but miserable.
Yep. I think so many fall into self-victimization. And I don't personally like it there. Like one of the biggest, for this is completely off topic, but like one of the biggest signs to me that, for example, my past relationship, I had to get the fuck out, was me crying all the time. Like I'm not like naturally I'm not a somber person. Like I be kiki king, like I really lighthearted. And so for me being sad all the time, that was not a place that I like to sit in. Like I was like, we gotta get out of here. Like, got a blast. But sitting like it, while it is important to feel all your feelings and process these emotions, it is also important that you don't just sit in the same cycle of victimization, or just like suffering, or just sitting there suffering.
I think that for a lot of people, they get this stuck feeling And when their self-preservation instincts come out, it's they because I always just viewed it as fight or flight, right? But as I grew up,
Just freeze.
As I grew up, I learned that there is freeze. Now, whereas I am not inclined to freeze, because in my instinct, the way that I was raised, to freeze is danger. To freeze is danger. I wasn't raised to. I never got taught that. I never got to see the freeze. I don't know about anybody else, but I never got to see the freeze. I've never been in a. Nobody's ever been that comfortable where they were like, "Oh, freeze." No. Everybody around me was hurt. Everybody around me was hurt, going through it, had their traumas and things going on. So I never seen freeze. I always saw fight or flight. I always seen them running or fighting through a situation. Learning later on in life that there is a freeze button and that people actually feel stuck. I always thought to myself, outside, I'm gonna be honest here, y'all. I'm gonna be honest here. I still don't even understand it. I have a best friend who she was like in a situation where she was stuck. And she, in my mind, I couldn't see how she was stuck. I'm not gonna hold you. I couldn't see how she was stuck. I was like, are you really stuck? Where like she felt like her foot was stuck in the thing. I was looking at all open space. I was like, are you sure? Because I never saw that. So I never got taught that perception. I never got taught the way to perceive it as stuck. In my mind, if I'm not happy, I am not happy here. And so I am about to go find where I'm happy at. It's never failed for me yet. I have always found my happiness because I just never was like stuck. I didn't even understand. I don't understand that today because why would you ever defeat yourself before you even played the game? It seems like quitting. It seems you can't fail if you keep going. Like, did I fail though? Like, did I really fail though? Because look at me, like, because I never stopped. So I only failed when I actually stopped. So to be stuck is to stop. It's a concept I don't get. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm trying to understand it in my mind but I've never, ow, it hurts. If it hurts, move your arm. Anybody ever pinched you and you just stayed there for them to pinch you? Do you not feel that? So my thing is what I told my best friend, is what I tell everyone. If it feels uncomfortable, take a step forward. If it feels a little tight, just a little tight, extend your fucking arm. Extendo. That's a song, y'all.
And with extending your arms, I want to say this. I want to say that closed mouths do not get fed.
Closed mouths don't get fed.
Like, closed mouths really do not get fed. So it is, and that's something that I've had to do some unlearning with just me wanting to be able to handle everything myself because of fear of people failing me. But like, closed mouths don't get fed. Ask for the help that you need. Like, however, at that same time, there is balance with not always asking for everything. Like, sometimes you need to pull your own bootstraps, pull yourself by the bootstraps, and get your own shit together, because it's not for other people to do. Well, it is lovely that we have people around us that want to nurture and love us. It can also lead to people being codependent, right? Being dependent and not being self-reliant, and that's not healthy either.
But I will tell you, because I also had to learn that closed mouths don't get fed, that if you are in something with someone else, and it is not just you, however you look at it, your child, your mother, your boyfriend, your sister, I don't know. But if it's a two people thing, require and demand what it is that you need. And this is going to be the hardest part of it for you, because it's the hardest part for me, is to really stick to it and be like, no, 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 no. I said what I said. I need you to love me this way. And if you are not able to do it, this is not a threat. This is not a threat, y'all. Also remember that telling someone that if they cannot do something for you, that you can choose to be outside of their life, that's not a threat. That is the reality of the situation. That is exactly the step that I'm going to take if you cannot love me as I need to be loved. I am not threatening you. I don't want you to feel like this is an ultimatum. I don't want you to feel like it's this way or the highway. No, you can totally choose to do what you want to do. You don't have to go on the highway. I will. I'll do it for you. No worries. No worries.
And so, as you see, we brought it back full circle because this is really also about setting boundaries. And it's not about communicating. Like, people be so scared to communicate, but it's not, like, we all know, and I'm back to the catchy shit. It's not about what you say, it's really how you say it, right? So you can express yourself, and make sure that you are expressing yourself when you are in a space in which you can effectively express yourself, and that you are expressing yourself in the heat of intense emotion. That is very important to make sure that you're getting
also
across.
In expressing yourself, a lot of people express themselves by pointing out what the other person did. When you are learning to express yourself and express your emotions, you should speak from a place of expression. So I like to say, I feel blah, blah, blah. I heard blah, blah, blah. I deserve blah, blah, blah. I require. So when you're coming into the space, you're not coming into a space of judgment. You're not coming into a space of accusations. You're not coming into a space of hostility. You're coming from a place of sureness and self-love. And I believe that you must be selfish with yourself. People say it all the time, you have to be selfless, and you can't be selfless if you're not here to be selfless. You can't raise those kids if you're not here to raise those kids. So if I am not here in this space to say what it is that I need, what I require, what I deserve, what I feel, what I hear, then what is my purpose in this space here?
My favorite thing to say is, if you do not show up for yourself, you cannot show up fully for others. Like, we get so consumed in wanting to show up for other people in certain ways. But like, if you're not showing up for yourself, if you're not setting certain boundaries for yourself so you can be treated however you think you should be treated, then no one else is going to respect the boundary. You have no
There's
boundaries.
no boundaries. Then there's no boundaries, and then everybody gets to treat you however they feel like they need to treat you. And then when you decide that that's not okay with you, and you're hurt, and you're blah 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 blah, you can't really blame anybody else but yourself, because you never took care of yourself. Nobody washes your ass for you. Nobody takes that shower for you. You have to take that shower. No matter how much soap we give you, how much water we give you, how much laundry detergent, loofahs, and all that, you still got to get your ass in that water. or essentially you just got a bunch of shit stockpiled around you and you never got your ass in that water. This is not, and that's not easy to say. It's not easy to say because you may get in that water and go under real fast. The point is that you got your ass in the goddamn water. If you don't get in the water, then you're just standing there. And where are you going if you're standing still? And then you watch your friends and your family members and people move on with their lives and do things and have kids and blah, 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 blah. And you sit here and you feel unfulfilled. You sit here and you feel like to yourself, this shit ain't fair. This shit ain't fair. This ain't right. Look at you getting a career, moving on up, going to Florida with the Floridians. I don't know. Look at you and look at me. I remember in my life when I felt that way. This was before I got to Texas, where I felt like, oh my God, remember Becky, I was telling you, everybody's doing all this stuff. Rebecca started her business and stuff, and everybody moving on up. My brother had got married and stuff, and I was just standing in this old whack ass apartment that I didn't even like. And then when I got out of my shit and really observed what was going on around me, I realized that it's my fault. It's my fault. And once I was able to take accountability for my part in the whole situation, shit started moving. I literally mean, like, literally, the second that I decided to take responsibility for standing fucking still, things started falling into my path that forced me to move. Like, I was forced to move at that point. And now, look at me.
It's the smile for me.
It's a smile. Y'all thought of it. Good, y'all good. I'm happy. I'm not perfect. I'm not where I guess I would like to end up or whatever. Like, if I died today, I still got shit to do. Like, what the fuck? But I'm happy with self. I'm happy with self. I can tell you right now that when I wake up in the morning, I'd be like, yes, Esther. You did that. Look at you. I'm happy. And that's not to say I'm done. But I realize a lot of people can't say they're happy. A lot of people are sad.
Although it is easier said than done, like Esther said, move. Move. If you do not know where to start, I say ask for help. Like, ask for help if you aren't sure where to start in your personal journey. I have a free self-care guide that you can download for free 99.
And we will be putting the link in the description below.
The link will be in the description. That, the journey of self, I think one thing I realized in having more conversations with people is that so many people don't know themselves. And so for me, like, if anything, it's more important that I know myself before I get into before I know my sisters, before I know like all of these other people that are going to like navigate and be a part of this journey. It is important that I know self so that I know where my anchor is when the water gets rocky. You know what I'm saying? Or else your ass just gonna get blown anywhere.
Know your anchor. Mm-hmm. Know your anchor. I love that, Becky. Know your damn anchor so you can go ahead and tug on that hoe and remind yourself.
It's like, bring me back. But I think that's so important. That was my intention doing the September Self-Care Challenge. And so even for the challenge, it we're titling it the September self-care because we are doing it in September, but it is a 30-day calendar. And so if you don't know where to start, it is $3. Like, start with the calendar, start with the free guide, start somewhere. But it all starts with self.
Yeah, look up hashtag September Self-Care Challenge on the Insta or even on the Facebook, and you shall see some examples of how all types of women are self-caring, taking care of themselves, loving on themselves. And it really, for everyone who knows that there's a lot of work into self-care. You don't have to start in the trenches, y'all. You can literally start around the trenches. Like I've been in around the trencher, like when you eat oatmeal, you you spread it out, you eat the cool part, you eat the hot, and at some point you got to get to the hot, but you start off slow. Start off by just looking at yourself in the mirror and acknowledging yourself. If nothing else, acknowledge you, yourself, your power, your worth. If nothing else, start off there. You'll find that it'll take up a whole mind of its own without you even having to just take the first step. So however, because they be like, God said, come as you are. Come as you are, ho. Just come. Just come. Come as you are. Come with the baggage. Come with the shit on your shoulders. Maybe the kids. I don't know. Come. Mm-hmm. Just come. I got you. Once you get here, I got you. Just come. Tell yourself that. It don't matter. Even if you self-care with the kids, y'all. Even if everybody needs to have a fucking face mask on. Even if everybody does, just put a little bit on their nose. That way you don't have to waste up all your shit. And let's quiet time. That used to be a game around here. Let's all quiet time for a little while. Let's do everybody's nails, goddamn. Let's do everybody's nails. The boys get the files and the things and the clippers, and the girls get the clear nail polish. Boom. Self-care. You'll also find that you're spending time with people that matter to you the most. And especially in these times, quality time is irreplaceable.
And so thank you for tuning in with us, y'all. If you haven't already, which you should have already, but go ahead and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Do that thing that we like. Go ahead.
Like, comment. What do you want to hear next time? What you want to talk about? Y'all like the yellow?
All right. Anyway. Until next time.